Welcome back, Googlers. In this video, I'm going to show you how you can actually create documents and other types of files using Google Docs. So the first thing you're going to want to do is log into your Google account, and it will look something like mine up here. I'm using Firefox. I'm also using an Apple, which might give a little bit different view of things, but for the most part, everything will probably be in the same place and you'll be going to the same places. So here I am in my inbox, and you'll notice that up here in the upper right hand corner, I have a grid of like 9 small little squares. This is another menu that if I click once on, it will open up various places within Google that I can go to. Now, many of these other things we can look at another time. You might not know that YouTube is now owned by Google, and also the Google Play Store is where you can go to get apps for your Android phones or tablets that you may have gotten. So, but for today's video, we're going to be going to Drive. So we're going to click on Drive, and this will open up your Google Drive in a separate window. You'll notice that it opened a new tab here. So I still have my email open, but now I also have my Drive open. And as you recall from the video previous, where I talked about how to open a document that someone has sent to you in Google Drive so that it can be used by other people as well as yourself, uh, this place, it looks very much like, let's say, a folder on your computer desktop, maybe your My Documents on your computer. You have folders. You have documents within those folders. And where we're going to want to go is over here on the left-hand side. And if we click on New, this tells you what are some of the things that you can create. Now you can create a new folder, and folders can be put inside of folders, very much like the filing system that you would find on a Windows machine if you were working with Word or some other program. You can actually upload files that have already been created by someone else in Word or a PDF. You can upload pictures. You can put anything up here. In fact, that's how I got our files for our meeting yesterday uploaded. Is I downloaded them to my computer and then I uploaded them to Google Drive. But here's the area that we really want to look at. It's these 3 here. Google Docs is, and some, if you're using an older version of Google Drive, it might be called Documents. It won't say Google Docs, it'll say Google Documents. And that is simply Google's form of a word processing program. It'd be very similar to Word or WordPerfect if you're used to using either one of those. Google Sheets are Google's form of Microsoft Excel. And Google Slides are obviously Google's Microsoft PowerPoint. So we can create just about any kind of document that we want here in Google Drive, and then we can share it with other people. We can even work on it together at the same time. We can open a chat window. We can chat with each other as we're working on it. Google Docs is a very powerful, great tool to be able to collaborate in real time with other people. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to just look at creating a Google Doc or word processing document. So I'm going to click on a Google Docs. Again, it opened up in a third window. And you'll notice, or a third tab, you'll notice that we have a blank sheet. Looks very, very much like Word. Doesn't have a huge ribbon like Office 2010 or 2013 has, but it has the basics, and it's a pretty good program for doing basic type of word processing things. Now, the first thing you're going to want to do when you get in here is you're going to want to title this document. So I'm going, see where it says untitled up here? I'm going to click on it just once, and it will open a small window and it says rename the document. So it says enter a new document name. Now if I just start typing, it will go away and I'll have my new name. If I want, I can hit delete, have a fresh one there. I can click behind it and do my backspace button and get rid of the name, but we're going to call this one example for video. And then we're going to rename it. We're going to say okay. Now you'll notice up here that it said right away, as soon as I did that, it said saving, and now it says all changes saved in Drive. That's why we want to name the document first, because as soon as we give the document a name, Google is going to start saving that document pretty much every time we make some sort of a change to it, whether we add something, whether we take something out, whether we change a word. So let's just start typing here. So you know what, let's try this. I'm going to see if the people at Google put in the little Easter egg that they put into Word. Now, Easter eggs are things that programmers hide in programs that can be useful. They're mostly macros, which is like a command to the computer to do something. And this command, rand equals, is telling the computer to create a random text. The first number is how many paragraphs of text. The second number is how many sentences. So let's see if nope, Google did not put that in there. So we're going to take that out and we're just going to have to do our own typing. So now is the time for all good people to come. Whoops. People to come to the aid of their country. Okay, so here's my document and I type it the same way I would. Now notice how it says up here, all changes saved in Drive. I type it the same way that I would type in Word or WordPerfect, and I can make pretty much the same types of changes. Let's say I want to change the font on Now. I highlight it, I go up here. Now I can either go to Format, or I can go to my, whoops, got to re-highlight this. Go up here where it says Arial. Now you'll notice I don't have as many choices in fonts as I do in Word, but for the most part, most of us don't use many other fonts except Times New Roman, Arial, and maybe a couple of other ones. So let's just pick, for the fun of it, let's pick Droid Sans. Now it doesn't look much different. I can change the size here, same way I can in Word. I can make it bold. I can give it some italics. I can underline it. I can change the color to whatever I want to change it to, just as I do in Word. And you can pretty much do that with all of your text. You can put your cursor in front of here and you can indent. You can increase the indent. You can decrease it. You can put links in here. So if you want to put a link to some other page or some picture that you have, links can be inserted. If we go up to the insert here, you see we can insert an image, a link, an equation, a drawing. We can put a table in there, just like we do in Word. So it's got the basic things that Word has. They're always building more add-ons and more things that you can use with Google Docs. Now, when it comes time to finish working with my document, usually if we're in Word or WordPerfect, we would go File, Save. You'll notice that I don't have that option. Why not? Because remember, Google is saving my changes as I make them in my documents. So I don't have to worry about losing something that I started and worked on for 45 minutes and then all of a sudden the computer went down. Everything is saved as I create it. So you can always go back to any changes you made. So, because some people would say, oh gosh, I changed so many things. How am I going to know what I changed? Maybe I want to go back. Maybe I don't want this to be bolded like that. So what I can do is go to File, and I can say See Revision History. And what's going to come up here on the right-hand side is revisions that I have made, changes that I have made. Now I haven't done much on this. So it's saying right now that this is the only copy of this particular document. It was changed today at 1:02, and it was changed by myself. Notice how there's a green little box next to this, and all of this text is in green. Now I can say show more detailed revisions, and now I can see every single thing I did. There's the original. Now I was trying to figure out if I could do my brand. Nope, that didn't work. I erased it. Shows that I erased it. And then I started typing. Then I did my bold. And then here I have my final copy. Notice how let's say I click on this one, I can always restore my Google Doc to an earlier version. And I don't have to worry about having it, not having it, forgetting what I put in there originally. So I can always change this back to what it was at any one point in time. This is especially useful if you're working with many different people and somebody makes a change and you say, I don't really like their changes. You can always go back to the copy of the document before they started making changes. So we're going to close this for now. So now it's time to do something with this document. You'll notice that when I go to File, my very first thing is to share. So I'm going to go to Share. And right now, I'm the only person that has access to this document. There are a couple of different ways that I can share a document. Probably the easiest way is to simply click on this Get a Shareable Link. If I click on that, it gives me a link that I can copy to the URL where this particular document is located. So I could simply have this highlighted. I can do a Command C on my computer, or a Control C if you're working with a Windows machine. And that will copy this into my clipboard on my computer. So then the next time I do a Command or a Control D, that link will show up and I can email that to people. You'll notice that anyone with this link right now can only view this document. What does that mean? Just what it says. They can only look at it. They can't make changes. They can't delete anything. They can't add anything. All they can do is look at it. Suppose I want to change that because I want to get some input from someone else and I want to send them the link. So what I'm going to do now, this also is especially useful to send to people who don't necessarily have a Gmail account. You really do want to have a Gmail account. It works a lot easier, but let's say you're going to be sharing this with a person who doesn't have a Gmail account. They don't want a Gmail account. You know the story. So you could send them this link, but you can decide what they can do with it. The default is that they can just view it, but you can allow them to make comments, which is like inserting a comment in Word. Or you can even allow them to edit it, which means they can change things, they can add things, they can delete things. They could completely get rid of your document. So you really want to be careful with that can edit one. But for the most part, with what we're going to be doing, we probably want people to edit it. So you can send them the link, or you can simply enter their email address. So I'm just going to enter an email address here. And again, Judine, I'm sorry I'm picking on you, but you're one of the people I can remember your email for. And so I put their email in there. Again, I have the same options here. I can edit, can comment, can view. I can add a note. This is a test for a video I am making. And then it's like it'll send them an email and it will have this text in it along with the link. Then I can say send, and off goes my shared document to Judine's email, and she'll be opening it up and will then be able to work within that document. Now, suppose I can't remember who I shared the document with. I know I shared it with people, but I can't remember who. I can go back to this share button and it will tell me down here under people if I shared it with specific people. And because I did share it with Judine specifically, it tells me that it's shared with Judine. Now, let's say I want to know what kind of rights I gave her. I click over here on advanced, and now I see all the rights and all the people who have access to this particular document. She has edit rights. Also, anyone who has this link up above can edit the document. And I myself am the owner, and I can decide who I'm going to share it with, who I'm not going to share it with. So I can just close that. And now this particular document is shared with Judine and anyone else who I choose to give that link to. And to get back to my Google Drive, I can simply close this. And now I'm back at Google Drive, and I can go to anywhere else that I would like to go to find a document. So that's creating a Google document or word processing doc in Google Drive. Thanks for watching, and we will talk with you soon. Bye.